Today I'm roasting a leg of lamb. Lamb has become really expensive, but when I find it on offer, I always buy 1 or 2 legs. Here, I'll show you. This was £32 full price, and you can pay £15.70 if you've got a club card, but I pay £6.25 per kilo because it's on offer. So it doesn't have to be expensive if you can capitalize on some of the offers. This weighs approximately a couple of kilos, and I'm cooking it today with some potatoes and carrots. I'll do a little marinade with some herbs, and this is a very typical southern Italian recipe. We import a lot of our lamb from New Zealand, including this joint, which always surprises me because the UK is a fairly large producer of lamb. But I would be interested to see, wherever you live, how much lamb costs. Sometimes people from New Zealand have written to me to say how expensive lamb is over there, which is quite ironic. So how much do you pay for your lamb? Is it expensive where you live? Or is it just over here? I suspect it might be the same across the world, but it'd be interesting to know. Let me know in the comments. But the first thing I want to do today, though, is going to indent it with a knife, and I'll turn it the other side and I'll do the same. This is because I want to make sure that it doesn't stay in the oven for too long and it will cook a little bit quicker. I'll move this on my oven tray and I'll start working on the marinade. This is rosemary, which I've just picked from the garden. I will be marinating the lamb and the vegetables with the same mix, so I'm going to be very generous. And also I've got some sage, so likewise I'll just remove the leaves and not the trunk. Sicilian touch number 1, this is the zest from one lemon. I'm going to add it to my rosemary and sage. Make sure that if you're using a potato peeler like me, you're gentle so that you only get the zest and not the white pith. And using the blade of my knife, I'm chopping everything in very small pieces so that I can make a little pulp. Something like this, and the smell of the lemon with the rosemary is very pleasant, by the way. So I've got a little glass bowl. I'll move everything over here, and I'm going to add some chili flakes. Optional, but a little will not harm. And also here I've got a little chili pepper, which will add a different type of flavor than the chili flakes. I'm going to slice it in little pieces just like this and add it also. Some salt and pepper, followed by some olive oil. I'm going to pour enough for the lamb, for the vegetables and the potatoes. And I mentioned a pulp earlier, so if I show you what I mean, this is what you'll end up with this beautiful marinade, which actually you can use for many recipes. You can marinate pork if you like with it, or you can marinate chicken on the barbecue in the summer. Very versatile. I mentioned potatoes and vegetables, so I'll be pairing the lamb with some white potatoes, some sweet potatoes, which are the orange ones, and some carrots. With the potatoes, as they will be cooking alongside the lamb, I want to make sure that I chop them quite big, otherwise they will disappear. And likewise with the carrots, I'm not actually going to chop them at all. I just leave them as they are. I've peeled them and I've removed the top and the bottom, and they can go in. Oh dear, do you know what? The sweet potatoes are so tough when they are uncooked, unlike the white potatoes. But once they cook, they become considerably softer than the white potatoes. Do you know what that is, Julie?
They're just more fibrous, aren't they?
Possibly. Do you know what that is? Let me know if you do. Okay, so let's get my leg of lamb back here, and the next job before I apply anything is to put a little salt. So I'll do this side, then I'll turn it the other way, and I'll do the other side again. I'll massage it in, turn it back this way. Garlic next, and this is something which is very widely used across Italy in most recipes with lamb. But I am aware that some people are not very keen on garlic, so if you don't like it, you don't have to add it. I've got quite a lot here, as you can see, and they are quite chunky little pieces. Now, because we really like garlic here, and this is actually also very fresh, I'm going to squash it. So I'll go the blade of my knife like this, and I'll give it a squash. If you're not too bothered with garlic and you like it but not necessarily go mad, don't squash it. By squashing it, it releases more flavor. And what I'll do before I start, I'll position the hot clove in between my cuts, just like this, including the skin, by the way. It's fresh and it will release additional flavor. And if you were to plan this better than I, you can actually do this the night before and leave it in the fridge as it is, and it will marinate. So back to my marinade, I'm going to put some on the top over here, and I'll just massage it in using my hands, and I'll go underneath also. And I'm making sure that I push some inside the little cuts. Okay, my potatoes and vegetables, I could have done with a bigger bowl, but I should be okay. I'll put the rest of my marinade on top, and I'll mix everything together. I'll start with the carrots so that I can distribute them equally, and then the rest of my potatoes can go in. Ensuring obviously that the leg of lamb is not covered by my vegetables. Nearly there. I'll give you the quantities in the description as always. This is dry white wine. I'm going to pour it on top of all of my vegetables and potato, but I will stay away from the lamb. A little pepper on top of everything. One final drizzle of olive oil all over the potatoes, and also I will just do a little zigzag on top of my lamb. And it's ready to go in the oven. And if you want to retain the moisture in the lamb and the potatoes, just place a little piece of baking paper on top like this, and it will protect it. It will go in the oven initially for the first 20 minutes at a temperature of 200 degrees. After that, I'll turn the temperature down to 160 for a further 1 hour and 15 to 1 hour and a half. Depends on the size of your joint, of course. And then it will be ready. But for the last 20 minutes, I will remove the baking paper so that it browns beautifully. So I'll see you then. Okay, and we are ready. Look at this, Julie. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Couple of tips, by the way. First of all, once I've removed the paper, I turn the oven up to 180 so that you get everything beautiful and brown. Also, I had a lot of juice from the wine and the juice from the lamb, and I poured it in a saucepan over here, and I've also added a little corn flour and cold water together, 2.5 teaspoons, and poured it in, and took it to the stove, and I made a beautiful sauce because Julie likes sauce.
I do.
So
I'm a gravy lover.
This is obviously very, very much based on the meal. So if you want to make a little sauce, you can do that, or you can just leave it in. Now let's have a look, because this looks, it smells absolutely wonderful. I'm sure you will agree. It's lovely, and you can see that everything is cooked beautiful, and just slice through some of the meat, and I'll show you what it looks like. You can see that has retained a beautiful moisture, texture and everything else, because I didn't leave it exposed. And okay, this little piece of garlic over here, and I think there's only one thing left to do, but before
I'm loving your
do
spork.
that,
It's like you've got a claw.
oh, it's so lovely. That's the thing with lamb. If you cook it slow and longer, it will retain all of the beautiful flavor. And I've got some bread here, by the way, which this is very, very Italian. I just want to taste this little sauce to see what it's like, and I will also get some of this potato, and I'll go away. There. Delizioso. Thank you for watching. Enjoy if you make it. And if you can buy lamb on offer, put it in the freezer and then you can cook whenever. Thank you. Ciao ciao.